Hey mamas, it's Kristen Noel, founder of the Intuitive Divorce, and I'm popping on here straight after class with my beautiful team member, Master Coach Joe Young. And we just dove in today to some feelings because that's what
Mm.
happens in our container. We never really know where it's going to go and what's going to show up, but we know that it's safe to feel what needs to be felt. And so many women that are either just in the beginnings of divorce, they're divorce curious, or if they're in the messy middle, they feel so isolated in their pain, in their feelings. And a word that came up a lot today that we really unpacked was shame. And that is probably one of the most debilitating feelings for a human being, let alone a mom who's really trying to show up for everyone, who's trying to fix all the problems, people please, keep up the facade, run the household, go to work, come home and cook up the bacon. It's a lot. So it's one of the reasons that I really honor this space that we've created so that women can come and reflect and keep it real. And what happens when they actually begin to share where they are. And, I'm thinking of one mom in particular, and she was recounting through tears. She really got emotional and she's recounting through tears, which, of course, as you're witnessing this, you can just feel it. We've all been there. We know what that feels like. But it was through that process. I always say that tears are healing waters. It was through that ability to get it out and to sit in that room and to unpack it. She was a completely different person by the end of that class,
Yes, and
right?
we see this so often when women show up and admit things to themselves, whether they admit it to the group or not, but in this case, they normally feel very safe to do that, and today was no exception. When they say things that they haven't been able to say out loud.
Hmm.
And we talked to this mom about the fact that that is the release of the shame
Hmm.
because now you've named it. Now you've named how you've been disappointed and feel bad about yourself and all the things. And so there's so much power in admitting the things that we've been afraid to admit, in being real, in being truthful and honest. And boy, does this group provide a space for that.
And also, just being able to carve out that time for yourself to sit in stillness or to sit in some sort of reflection, whether that's just like 5 minutes in the morning with a cup of tea, staring out at the birds, looking out a window, just give, or whether it's just contemplating something while you're on a drive, to work, or when you're walking the dog, or whatever it may be. And here's the interesting thing. Oftentimes, the women in our group, they are go-getters. They're juggling 9,000 plates. Their to-do list is, a mile long. And they just really believe, falsely believe, that they don't have the capacity to take on any more, for example, self-care. But the way this conversation started today, and it was just like music to my ears, and I was like waiting to hear, like waiting until she was done speaking. But this mother was recounting how she seized, I don't know, it was like a 15, 20-minute period of time that she just didn't think that she was going to have. One of her kids was sleeping, and she said, "You know what? I grabbed my notebook and I started journaling on some very specific things." Now, part of the story is that this woman doesn't feel like she has this safety of privacy of like leaving a journal out. So she's like, this is was even a bigger deal for her. So she's probably got her journal in her pocketbook and takes it everywhere with her because she just doesn't feel like she has privacy in her home. But in this very short period of time, 15, 20 minutes, she journaled a whole bunch of stuff out. And when we were listening to her read to us what this was about, what she discovered, what powerful connections she made, it was like mind blowing. And then I just leaned, I mean, there were a million things I wanted to dive into, a million gorgeous connections that she made. a million discoveries, so much self-reflection, so much awareness. Then I just leaned in. The first thing I said to her is like, well, how long did that take? And she was like, oh, like, 15 minutes or whatever. And I was like, exactly. It doesn't have to mean like healing doesn't mean you have to run off on a retreat for months. It's in the micro steps we take every day. It's what we give to ourselves to fill our cup so that we can get calm, we can get grounded, we can be clear about what is it that's upsetting me? What is it that doesn't feel right? What is calling my attention? What needs me? Because that is the only way we're going to get through solving these issues or get to the other side or to see them for what they really are. Because oftentimes, for example, with shame, we reframed that with her and we invited her to look at it differently. And that was just some of the most beautiful conversation.
Yeah, it's so healing to be able to admit, whether it's on paper, whether it's into your phone, whether it's out loud in the car, whatever it is, to be able to say the things that you've been avoiding, which we talked about last week, to say the things that we've been most afraid to say, and to really get honest with ourselves. And so it's so healing because you're showing up for yourself, which we don't give ourselves time for, to your point. And it took, I think she said 10 or 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And she revealed so many things. And she said it wasn't easy for me to reveal these things, but how I feel now on this side of it, after reading it today, after understanding how it all was impacting her in a different way, she completely was a different person. She was
Mhm.
lighter. She was, what did she say at the end? Hopeful and excited.
I
We were
know.
like, well,
Yeah.
that's a shift from
Yeah.
how you came in here.
Yeah.
So, it has great power to be able to show up for yourself and to say the things and take the time for yourself that you use as an excuse a bit that you don't have. Because to your
Mhm.
point, Kristen, it doesn't take more than a few minutes to just show up for yourself and give yourself some compassion and some love and some grace.
And by the way, when we make excuses and when we say, I don't have time for that, guess what? All those shameful feelings, they're not going anywhere. It's not like they're like, okay, well, I'm going to go next door to Sally's house. No, they're going to stay there. They're going to grow. They're going to gnaw away at you even more. They're going to dull your spirit and your mojo and your vibrancy. They're staying there. They're firmly planted. It is in the finding a way to release them. And she said she had a good cry after she, spent a little bit of time journaling. And listen, it doesn't have to be journaling. It's just one very, very powerful modality. It's one very, very powerful way that you can get something out that needs to come out. Because when we actually put pen to paper, or we have a conversation with someone where we really admit the truth, that is the way to all of a sudden see it in the daylight. There it
Mhm.
is. And it was funny because oftentimes I'll start class with an inspirational card, and this particular card was really asking us to question where something is it a fact? Is it the truth? Or is it an untruth? Is it fact or fiction? Because oftentimes what's in our head and the stories that we keep repeating, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. But the way to get it out, the way to actually really explore it is to say it, is to claim it, is to name it, is to reveal it, is to write it. Just get it
And
out.
then you question it.
And then you question it.
Fact or
Yeah.
fiction?
Fact or fiction.
Truth or a story I'm telling myself? And those are powerful things
Hmm.
because most of us live in story 98% of the time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And it's just so powerful. It's just like an incredible exhale. And this particular mother went on and she was really talking about some powerful conversations that came up with her kids, and her kids are little. So they weren't like, high level, in-depth constructs, but you then begin to realize and see and witness how you are able to show up for your kids, how you were able to help them navigate. Her children don't even know about the divorce yet. This is just navigating their own life. This is navigating anything that they're bumping up against. And by the way, children are such pure energetic vessels. They're feeling things. They're feeling the tension in the house. They're feeling the tension within you. So she had a lot of beautiful reflection and reciprocity with her children, curious conversation, just acknowledging different things with them and making it safe for them to share what they were experiencing. And again, this was broad strokes. This wasn't about the divorce, but it does change how you relate to yourself, how you relate to your children, how you relate to anyone else that's out there in your world.
Yeah. When you shift yourself, you shift everything.
Hmm.
It's the truth. And the skills that we teach and we talk about in this group, we say it all the time. It's not just divorce skills, they're life skills.
Hmm.
And when you shift, your children shift, you are changing generations, you are healing generations. And I mean, you wouldn't be here listening to this if you weren't someone who wanted to be an incredible model for your children.
Hmm.
And how you do that is you learn to show up for yourself differently. And we talk about all these things over and
Hmm.
over and over again in this group. And it is truly life changing.
And I think if there's anything that I can leave you with today as someone who has spent a couple of minutes here picking up on this conversation, it's to please, when you make these revelations or you make these discoveries or you name a feeling, please do not shame yourself. Please do not beat yourself up. Please do not judge yourself. What if you instead could reframe it and say, you know what? I'm here now. And I see something that I can't unsee. I feel something, I know something, I sense something that needs me right now. And I am ready. I might be afraid because the unknown is a little bit scary, can be a little bit daunting, but that's why you're here. That's why we love this group. Yes, there's divorce strategy, but we're putting the guardrails around dealing with your feelings, feeling your feelings, processing your feelings, allowing your feelings.
Yeah. And getting curious about the things that are nudging at you.
Hmm.
You know, don't keep avoiding, don't keep hiding. They just get louder. So show up, get curious, keep showing up, show up here, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Support yourself
Hmm.
and support yourself through this process. It's not easy. You're not expected to know how to do it. You're not expected to know about all the stuff that's going to come up, the in between moments, the questions your kids are going to ask you. But I know you care about all of that. What I really want you to do is care about yourself because how you care about yourself and the condition you're in directly impacts all of these interactions that you're going to have. Divorce goes
Hmm.
on far longer than it should, than you can ever imagine. But just embrace this also. Believe me, trust me when I say it is also an opportunity for profound healing. And that is what we wish for you. So if we can leave you with anything today, please do not shame yourself. Please be gentle with yourself as you're navigating this, as you're figuring this out. And as Joe said, it's exactly why we're here. It's why we love what we do. Check out our work at intuitivedivorce.com. Check out our app. Check us out on social media. Make sure you're on the newsletter list. Tons of great information to support you in every area of this process. But the biggest area that we care about is you. Oh, and one thing I just want to say, I love how you brought up, we were talking about avoidance. This is like how we build on things because once we make a discovery, it's pretty exciting when you start to see something differently through a new lens. Don't be surprised when that happens, that all of a sudden you just keep building on it and building and building and building. And that's healing in motion. And that's what I wish for every mama out there and for every mama to spread to her own children and to transform the relationship that she has with them. Imagine what your children are going to be capable of in their relationships, in their emotional development, in how they communicate and how they move through the world.
Yeah, you get to become a different model for them.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing better than that.
It's that big. It is that big. Yeah, it is that big. So, best job in the world.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing your time with us here. And we would love to hear from you. Let us know. Let us know what you're struggling with and how we can help you, how we can support you, and how we can help you transform your whole process.
Yeah. Be good to you.
Thank you.